This next story is by Dee Calhoun. Dee is a published author, and you can purchase Dee's book, Go to the Devil, on Amazon.com. Get ready to feel a little discombobulated. I present to you The Room. How on earth did I get into this dreary little room? I don't remember coming here. To be honest, I can't remember anything. I just opened my eyes and found myself here. It is dusty and cobwebby in here. I sat down on a dry-rotted old sofa, and a cloud of dust erupted from it. I wheezed and coughed, and dust got into my hair and eyes. My white sundress that I love so much is now filthy. There's just enough light in here to see that, and I am not at all happy about it. I just tried the door, but it seems to be locked from the other side. It's funny, but you would think I would panic at this, but I didn't. Curiosity has taken over, a desire to figure out just what's going on here. Wow, I sure hope I don't end up like that cat. You know which cat I mean. The one that was curious. Curiosity killed the... Oh, never mind. It's also very noisy here. There are voices, whirring, mechanical grinding, general racket. It's just a mishmash of sounds. Nothing is discernible. You can hear the voices, but can't tell what they're saying. All types of voices, too, in many different pitches and registers. I hear rushes of wind, splashing of water. It makes no sense. Sometimes one particular element of sound will override the others and almost become soothing. But then something else pipes up and ruins it. This could be quite maddening if subjected to it for any length of time. There are photos covering the walls, completely chaotic in their arrangement. Some are framed and neatly hung, but others are taped up or thumbtacked. Some are even just tucked into the edges of other photos. They're distressing because they're haphazardly arranged, with no rhyme or reason. Someone who is OCD would have a fit if they looked at this. What's worse, though, is that all of the photos are extremely blurry. In some, you can make out shapes and can recognize that it's a man or a woman or a child, but some are too blurry even for that. It makes my head hurt to look at them. Also, I was in no way exaggerating when I said the walls were covered in them. There are hundreds, maybe thousands of photos hung in here. There isn't a bare spot left for any more. The door is still locked. I just realized that there's no toilet in here, but that doesn't even upset me. Somehow I feel like a restroom isn't needed here. I don't feel even the slightest urge to go. I also don't feel any pangs of hunger either. What a strange place this is. And how strange to be trapped in it and not feel worried. At least not yet. Some windows just opened, and now the room is flooded with light. Weirder and weirder, as I know there were no windows there before. Where did the photos go that were there, where the windows now are? And for that matter, where was the previous light coming from? It wasn't much light, but it had to have come from someplace, right? Okay. I'm starting to get a little unnerved here. Plus, the sounds are getting even louder and more irritating. When I look out the windows, I have to shield my eyes. The light is so bright, but it's a brightness spotlighting a void. Just a field of endless white nothingness as far as I can see. It almost looks like a mist, but the swirling is different. When mist swirls, you can sense that something is pushing it and making it move, like wind or another disturbance. This swirling is undulating and maddening as everything else in here. It's making my head ache. I had to look away from the windows and that nauseating light. It wasn't a clean white light, but it was a sickly kind of glow. Nauseating isn't quite the right description, though, as that would indicate something digestive, and like I said earlier, I seem to have no want or need for anything like that. We'll just say that the yellow light is sickening. That should cover it. Now that I can see the room in full light, I can see the total shambles it's in. Moldy rags strewn across the floor, broken toys piled on and behind the broken furnishings, and even more photos that at some point fell from the walls but were never picked up. Why would someone put up more photos and not pick up the ones that had fallen? The door is still locked. I noticed this time that I was a little more frantic when I tried to open it. I just picked up one of the fallen photos. This one is in a frame, and looked at it. Blurry, just like all the others, but I could see my reflection in the glass. My eyes have gone totally black. Not just my eyes themselves, but the flesh surrounding the eyes as well. I look like Alice Cooper, and now something in me has snapped. I believe the term for my scream is bloody murder. Well, now, that wasn't a good idea. Not at all. It would seem that the sounds in here don't enjoy being challenged, and they've become louder to drown me out in case I decide to bloody murder again. No more of that. I'm too afraid now. I have to get out of here. Have to get out. I simply have to get out. The door is still locked. I draw back to pound it with my fists, but at the last moment I think of the sound it would make, and I catch myself. I must be quiet and still and try to wait until all this passes. Oh my God. I hope the windows remain open. The light is unbearable, sickening, but to be back in that near darkness would be terrifying. I'm huddled down into a corner where I'll breathe deeply and try to be silent. The sounds are still too loud, but they seem to be waning just a tiny bit. What's this? I found a book on the floor, beneath the remains of a tricycle. I know that the last thing I should do is open the book and read it. Everything else in this room has been an exercise in lunacy, and I know this book will be no different. Just the idea of doing something normal like reading is the first comforting feeling I've had since finding myself here. So I can't resist it. There is a quiet comfort in words, a familiarity, so nice, it's almost a calm that has come over me. A realization. Oh my Christ, I know where I am. This book is familiar because it contains my thoughts. The photos are the images of my hazy memories, dulled and unable to be fully recalled. The toys are my broken dreams. Oh my Christ, this is not a room at all. I am trapped inside of my own head. The noises are now deafening, as they try in vain to drown out my bloody murder.